episode of Shoes Off Inside, and we're all in person, and Tamlyn is making out with my dog right now.
Sugi.
We just want to say
we've got a fourth silver sister joining us.
So Kelly, who, Tamlyn, Tamita, Maylee, we're all together in person, and the reason why, because we know this is a rarity.
So we just want to celebrate the silver sisters.
Yes. Silver sisters, including Sugi, who's not on camera right now. Oh,
she's on this camera.
She's on this camera.
Yeah.
Because Kelly just came back from a cruise.
Yes.
And docked in Long Beach, which is where we are right now. And so
I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm so inflexible these days.
Wait, you're supposed to be Asian. You're supposed to be
like
that.
Asian squat, lotus position, seiza. It's like we're Asian, dude. That should be in the bag.
So yes, I did just get back from my Norwegian cruise, and it was a free cruise because my friend Jean is a gambler, and so she gets these free cruises, and so I got to piggyback. She did win. Yeah, I lost.
Did you win?
I lost. Not too much though.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I played Ultimate Texas Hold'em, which is my new game.
Tamlyn, do you know how to play poker?
Of course.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
See, I have no clue.
I bet Tamlyn could.
I'm pretty noisy.
Are you? Do you bluff? Because women.
I bluff.
You do bluff.
I bluff. Yeah.
Yeah, because women are known to not bluff.
Yeah. I
have to
bluff.
You have to
win.
Yeah, you have to sometimes.
And
when you
and I'm an actor.
See, I would think you guys would be really good at poker then, because you're both actors.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it maybe helps.
I think it maybe helps, but again, it's our personality and how we handle stress and how we deal with the comrades on the table who might be friends or assholes.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to really stick it to him or her? I'm going to take your fucking money.
Okay.
I actually love playing with guys that I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you present this.
Yeah, exactly. And then I play that whole like, ooh, what do you have? What do I have?
What is the flush?
Oh, wait, does that beat? Wait, can I bet again now?
Yeah. Do aces count? Or do you play low as well? Or no, it's just high?
Yeah, we play. Well, it depends on which game, but it's really funny because when I try to be all flirty, the guys who take it very seriously, they just stare straight ahead.
I know.
They don't want to be distracted.
They don't want to give you any kind of hints at all.
I cannot tell you that my penis is big. Right? And that beautiful girl she just raised me, but something else is raising me.
Oh my God, that's probably totally happening.
Right.
But it's so fun. It's fun to play with guys and be all like flirty and see like if you can put them on tilt.
Yeah. You gotta use all the weapons you have at your disposal.
I tried to learn once and I just didn't get it.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I never tried again. So maybe we should do a poker session at some point.
That would be fun.
Tutorial.
That would be fun, yeah.
Because I've always thought that's something that I should know how to play at some point, but I never really bothered.
Yeah, it's like poker and mahjong.
Yeah.
As Asian sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of have to know.
You also don't know how to play mahjong?
You never played mahjong?
What? Oh, Korean people
believe it though?
Korean people don't play mahjong.
No, not really. But
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I lived in Hong Kong for 4 years.
Yes, that's right. And Singapore
for 6 years.
What?
And nobody invited you to a table?
Oh.
Is that bad? Maybe that.
And you were probably too busy to learn, but still, it's like
they didn't want to take your money.
I never learned. So that's another thing I really would actually.
Wait, who did you learn from? Your grandparents or your parents?
Oh, my auntie. My auntie would bring a mahjong board, but it was basically just rudimentary mahjong. If I went into a parlor.
You get your ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Yeah.
But I learned from my grandparents.
Aren't there different types of mahjong?
Yes.
There are, right?
Sure. So there's like regular, like I think is called regular to me, mahjong, which is like the Chinese mahjong. Yeah. And then there's like what I call Jewish mahjong.
Yeah, right.
Which I think could be American or Jewish mahjong.
Different rules or different?
They play with different tiles.
Correct, tiles. Okay, different tiles.
Is it different tiles or is it a combination of tiles?
I think so. Something like that. I don't know. I've never played with the Jews.
That's what I was wondering because it's a big thing with Jewish women. Huge.
Because it's fun.
Do you know how to play gin rummy? Same thing.
Used to long time ago.
Same concept. Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
So here's the sad thing. the reason why I don't know how to play cards or like mahjong or any of these other games is that all I did was play the fucking piano my entire life.
Oh,
Right?
see, I don't know how to play musical instruments.
Yeah, no, because I was forced to like play the piano and then of course the cello because one instrument wasn't good enough for my Korean mother.
What?
That's all I ever did. So I
Yeah.
never played games.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I never, you know.
And then also looking back, I'm assuming that your mom didn't play games as well.
Not really.
Cards or
No,
for
none
sure.
of that. None of
Yeah.
that.
So she
like,
couldn't pass that.
like
on.
backgammon, any of those traditional board game,
Mhm.
card games,
Mhm.
none of that.
Yeah.
We didn't play
Really?
any. No.
You play instrument?
I do. I play a guitar. No, well, not now.
As a child?
As a child, piano, guitar, and flute. And I
Oh.
still can proficiently play. I could still read music, but I don't practice for years. But I still appreciate it.
Yeah.
I pick it up and I pretend. I still go through my.
But do you get frustrated like that? See, I get, because I was a competitive pianist.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
You were
and
competitive.
Here, I have a Steinway in my house.
Yeah.
And because I was so good, when I try to play now, I get really frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it frustrates me so much I don't want to play.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's
feeds
that
into that.
perfectionist kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so now I'm thinking, should I start taking lessons again? Should I like find a piano app or something just to be able to get proficient again? Because it's really frustrating for me.
So now I feel like I was raised by degenerates.
No.
Because my parents had had poker games at the house, and so I grew up with poker, just knowing what all the cards meant and all the hands and what beats what, and then also I never learned an instrument, and then and my dad was like a pool shark. They used to have a pool hall
Really?
in my family. Yeah.
Oh.
So I was really raised by some degenerates.
No, not degenerate.
No.
It's again the value of gamesmanship, sportsmanship lies in poker games, lies in the pool hall, lies
Strategy.
on the field, strategy. A release for all our competitive spirits.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to behave civilly, and that's the conversation for you. It's like how to trash talk, and go. Good hand, and then you concede that that player played you well.
So back to you went on your cruise. Now you're back. That's why we're all together.
Yes.
And the first thing we want to talk about is the fact that your brother. This I didn't know. She put up a post.
Yeah.
About your brother
retiring
from the military. I didn't even know he was in the military.
Yeah. So Friday was his last day, and I have to put clarity on this because he complained about my post that was inaccurate. And rightfully so.
They're kind of detail oriented.
Yeah, because he worked in finance department, so very.
Even more so.
Yeah. Ooh. So he wanted me to, and I haven't gotten around to doing this, but I'll do this right afterwards to let people know that he actually retired as a lieutenant colonel in 2008, way back, and then he had all these plans. He was going to do all these things, and then he just, I don't know, got bored. And then 15 months later, went back to work as a federal employee in 2010. And so now he's retired from that one. So he's had 2 retirements.
I see.
Because he wanted to put clarity on it, because he said that if he had stayed in the military for 36 years, like I had posted, that he should be a 3-star general by now. And not just a lieutenant colonel.
And pay commensurate.
But he didn't want people to think he was a fuck up.
No, but I saw that post and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know your brother was in the military. And
No.
So,
I thought I always talked
my
about
brother
that.
is. Yeah.
Your brother is too?
Yeah, my brother was. Both of my brothers were.
Oh, I didn't know that
Army
either.
and Marine.
Oh. Did either of them ever get deployed?
Yeah, this was Iraq.
Oh.
Iraq for Desert Shield or Desert Storm. I just can't remember now.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
for those 2 conflicts.
So my brother was serving during that time, but he never had to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I guess they didn't need pencil pushers.
But deployed, and I don't exactly know what their missions were or if they ever landed in Iraq. But again, I don't know. They're the kind of military guys that's like, if I have to tell you, I have to kill you.
Oh God, they all say that.
Yeah. To their sister, they do.
Well, so interestingly, one of my cousins just married a woman. She's Chinese American, and she graduated about maybe 8 years ago, maybe more. Don't quote me on this, but top of her class at what's the military?
West Point,
West Point.
Annapolis.
Oh wow, top of her class.
Top of her class is an Asian female.
Wow,
That's amazing.
And so she got a certificate from George W. Bush at the time. So that was many years ago. Yeah. So, but yeah, tiny, like barely taller than me, but like obviously badass.
I actually went to Iraq and Afghanistan in 2006 and 2008 to go visit troops.
Wow.
And the most amazing thing to me was how many women were serving.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many, especially in the larger bases. Some of the
Right,
smaller FOBs that we went to had no women because there were just not enough facilities. There would be only like 100 guys.
Right.
And they couldn't like build separate facilities for women,
Sure.
Women's bathrooms or whatever. And but in especially like Camp Victory, where there were like 20,000 people, there were a lot of women, and some of them with like their nails all done and their eyebrows, and you're like, "Whoa, girl!"
This is a good segue then. Talk about women in the military and representation,
and whether or not your friend is still in the annals of our U.S. military websites.
Because
they're a woman of color.
Being they just recently did this at Arlington, right? They took out all the names of the Black Americans, the Hispanic Americans, the women, who served. It is truly astounding, right? That this erasure is happening, when it comes to
because they were
our American heroes, because it's subject to now erasing DEI or
completely.
Anything concerning DEI in our U.S. military.
Right.
History,
So
our annals, our websites. So I think we were, May and I were talking about last time we met, Tuskegee Airmen, the fact that Enola Gay, the aircraft that released the nuclear bomb, is erased because it has the word gay in it.
Wait, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Enola Gay, which was named after the pilot's mom. Enola Gay.
So that's gone. That reference is gone.
Luckily, the 442 Regimental Combat
That's what I was wondering.
And
they're so heavily decorated. How could you not?
They were erased. Today is Sunday.
Yeah.
They were erased Wednesday, and they were put back yesterday. So because there was enough kerfuffle about who is an American, who is an American hero, without the assignation of DEI.
Yeah.
So that's what
just to clarify, the 442nd was the battalion.
The American battalion of
all Japanese American heroes,
led by a Korean American colonel.
That's right.
Young Oak Kim.
Yep.
But how can you address this special group of people without mentioning their race? Because it was because of their race.
Yes,
this battalion was formed.
This is how this administration is dealing with DEI.
Yep.
They're trying to erase our history.
Everything. Yeah. Okay, so here's the irony, though, of this DEI, anti-DEI movement within the Trump-Vance administration. Did you guys know that Usha Vance's mother is the provost at UC San Diego, and she is a huge advocate of DEI initiatives, right? She's written about it, and she has spoken about it, and she makes it a point to say that they believe in DEI at the university, and she's the provost, so that's a very powerful position.
So she's come out since the administration.
Well, she hasn't denied it. Oh, no, yes, she has. And Vance has actually remarked on it, responded when he was questioned, and he said, "Well, this is one of those cases where you have a conflict with the family member, and you just say, let it go."
Yeah,
and
he agreed to disagree.
He agreed, and he's like, "I still love her because she's my mother-in-law. She's she's loving to my children." Da da da. But can you imagine what that family dynamic is like?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry, you can. But honestly, like her son-in-law, her daughter's husband, is leading the charge.
That's harsh.
Right, to wipe out DEI in this country. And that's what I don't get. I mean, we all saw
wonder what his wife thinks about it.
Well, we all saw the viral video of when they went to the Kennedy Center, Usha and J.D. Vance, and they were booed.
take away funding?
Yeah, they wiped out the board, and Trump
Wiped out the board
and
made himself.
So that's where I'm like, how do these people, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, but how do they reconcile this?
They don't.
Super
They
conflict.
just keep on pulling up the sheets or just hide. It's like,
Yeah, I guess so, but
how can they?
But she can't speak out, Usha. She cannot speak out against her husband and what they're doing for in
I know
terms of
what you're saying. I
DEI.
know what you're saying.
She can't because she's made this agreement to let him run, and
she's only his wife,
and she knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no.
Yeah, she's capitulated.
Yeah, she has. Obviously, she has. But I guess it's more upsetting. Maybe this is unfair to put on her. It's just more upsetting that she is an Asian woman, very successful, smart, intelligent. You know,
But there are a lot.
Who used to work for law firms that advocated for DEI.
Correct.
So I do call her out.
That's right. That's
call
what
her
I
out
have
on
a
a
problem.
personal woman-to-woman level.
Yeah.
Not as the second woman, or what is it? The second lady.
Second lady.
Yeah. So I do not. But again, it's like, that's pretty shitty, and you have to speak on it.
I know, and that's
But
where
she
I
can't.
have a problem.
I know, as
She cannot.
second lady, but again, yeah, it's like she can. It's like where? It's like context.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm very, very. It's like,
right.
or else she's going to have to put on that mask and say whatever my husband says.
Yeah, no, that's again, as an Asian woman, it's disappointing because she's kind of living up to the stereotype.
Correct.
Right, and that's very harmful because
Yeah.
it's like everyone's gonna be like, see, nice Asian wife, stays.
So everything is true. It's
Yeah.
not mutually exclusive. It's just it's like she's going to make a hard, tough choice someday,
Yeah.
and it probably is not going to happen in the 4 years they're in this fucking administration.
Yes, but he will be the next in line, and so she's gotta.
She's got to
Keep
toe.
quiet.
She's going to
Exactly.
next in line, toe the line.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
So
Okay,
she might have another 8 years after.
Let's say we make it to 2028. Sorry, people, but
You mean without drugs?
sometimes I'm like, I don't know, man.
I'm taking drugs.
I don't
I'm
even
just
know
telling
if
you
we make it to
already.
2026.
she just snorted some
Right?
Zycam.
Yeah, that's right. She did take drugs.
I did.
So let's say, okay, JD Vance is the nominee, the Republican nominee, right? Unless Trump has decided he's going to be king forever. That could very likely happen.
Well, you know what could happen, and it's starting, is he could start a war.
Well, with you name who, like everyone.
Oh yeah, we're going to. He's buying Greenland.
Buying Greenland. He's going to invade
He's gonna
Panama.
invade Panama.
He's gonna
No, but
Canada
is
the
it
51st
true?
state.
Is it true? Because I don't know these things.
What
I have to
part?
always
That's
ask.
what he
No,
said.
no. About if somebody goes to war, if the country is at war,
Uh-huh.
that you don't have to hold an election.
No,
That's not true.
That's not true. Yeah. You
Okay,
have to
so
choose.
so he cannot just start a war but then because no matter what, he
Right.
cannot come back, right?
Well,
Can he start a war and say,
yes.
and can he start a war and say, hey, we're in the middle of a war and you don't want to change,
And that would be a coup. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be like, okay, so if he declared martial law, let's say,
Yeah.
I think everything is just put on hold under martial law.
Correct.
Like
So
including-
elections and everything until war is done.
Yeah. So for instance, right now, with Ukraine, for instance, some people are saying, they should hold elections and get rid of Zelensky. But because they're at war,
Mhm.
apparently their, governmental policy is that they cannot have an election during wartime.
Okay, so
I
that's
think
everywhere.
Winston Churchill, the same thing during World War II. They could not hold regular elections because of the war. Now, I am not a constitutional expert, so I don't know about
By
the
any
U.S.
means,
Constitution.
right,
So I don't know if that's something that
If there are
also-
people out there who are,
please write, because we don't really know.
I would
But
love to find out.
look, let's put it this way. I don't think Trump needs to declare a war to try to stay in power, because look at what he's already trying to do to stay in power.
Correct.
So, constitutionally, he's pretty much trying to toss out the Constitution anyway.
Correct.
So why would he bother declaring war, to do that? So, okay, but let's go back to the hypothetical. Let's say we do make it to 2028. And JD Vance is maybe the Republican nominee. Let's just assume, okay, since he's vice president. Democrats are kind of in disarray right now, as we can see. There's still no real strong leadership. I think there's still some confusion. There's internal conflict. But
We just do not have our shit together.
We kind of don't have our shit together. So, but we just learned that Pete Buttigieg is not going to run for the Senate seat in Michigan. He decided not to.
What's he going to do? Run for president again?
That's what they're
conjecturing right now.
People are saying this could be because he wants to run in 2028.
Yeah, sure.
What do you guys think about Pete?
We love Pete.
I absolutely love Pete. He was I actually went to one of his fundraisers and but here's the thing. I was at a fundraiser in West Hollywood, which is gay capital of America.
Yeah, Boys Town.
And
the world.
And it was not full.
Was there a minimum amount you had to contribute to go to the event?
$250, which I don't think is all that much.
And again, did the word black? Did
and it was.
Go out?
I would think so because it was being hosted by several heavyweights, including Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, again, those heavyweights don't have a mechanism to blast shit out and get people in because it's because we were already in that. Oh, here's a fundraiser for Pete. Here's a fundraiser for Kamala. Here's a fundraiser for Schiff. So we were a little bit tired.
Yeah. But you would think the gays would rally.
You would think, but maybe they thought that he wasn't going to be the nominee, right? So they wouldn't want to support that. But
and that he's married and has kids. He's not sexy.
Right, exactly. I have a question though. We all love Pete, and I love Pete for many different reasons. One of which is that he's so fucking brilliant.
He's so smart.
He really knows his foreign policy. He speaks like 7 languages, something ridiculous like
he's
that.
Military,
exactly. He served the country.
He's a loving father, husband.
And just pretty much.
But he's got that one thing,
right? That
America can't get past.
Do you think in 2028? The American voter would be ready to vote for a gay candidate?
No, I don't.
They weren't ready for a black Asian woman, obviously,
but was ready for a white woman,
right? So he's a white man, but he's gay. So does that put him higher on the totem pole? Do you know what I mean? That's how we have to look at it. Yeah. So I'm curious because I would vote for him for sure because of all of his qualifications. But is America, and when we talk about America, we're talking about pretty much the middle of America. Right?
I think not until this younger generation now comes out and votes.
Yeah, they have to vote.
I don't think as long as these people who are still in their 70s and 80s are around voting.
Or 50s and 40s.
Yeah, or just
they don't know
the Christian right.
Yeah.
They're never going to go away.
Anti-gay, anti-abortion, those are the 2 issues, right?
And so, I hate to say it, but I don't think he's
okay, so that's the problem then. It's if we don't have a viable candidate that could go head-to-head and really take on the GOP, then we're going to be screwed again in 28?
Yeah. But looking a little farther ahead, knowing that our party is in the survey, the Republicans. You really think J.D. Vance has a shot against Rubio, against Kristi Noem, against...
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think so because he can't... He's not, again, because we're from this industry, he's not... what is the word?
He's not charisma.
Marketable
whatsoever.
Yeah. All those things.
Yeah.
All those things. Kristi does because she's got that thing and she's Ice Barbie, and... Marco Rubio has always been there.
He's got to follow it.
He's got to follow it.
Yeah.
And now that he's again back in good with Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah. It all depends on who's in good with Trump at the end.
We know that nobody's going to have the cult of personality that Trump does, right? He has that weird cult following. Right. So once he goes, I don't think there's anybody who can step in. Well, there's talk of Don Jr., right?
Yeah.
No,
don't laugh too hard, guys.
I know, we laughed before about Donald Trump, so it's that it could very well happen.
Yeah.
No. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene could step up.
No, that's true.
Yeah, we can't laugh at any of this anymore.
Correct.
That's the thing. We all have to take all of this as potentially realistic.
Yeah.
Sure. So anyway, okay, well that's 2020. That's very far. I feel like it's only been what 60 days now.
Yeah, we're already worried about the next election.
No, but 60 days.
January 21 or what?
It's 20th.
So it's,
It's the 16th now.
Yeah.
Right?
So 60 days.
Oh my God.
That's where I'm like, oh my God.
That's why we.
I might need to find a dealer.
No, we need to get a cruise. Get on a
We gotta get
on a dealer. Yeah.
Seriously. So, okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so it's my other obsession.
Oh yeah.
You guys can continue chatting. I just have to make sure.
You're having a fit.
I am. Okay, explain to the audience why.
May was about to call child services on these eagles
I'm
who are not
On
looking after
Jack in
their
Shadow here in Southern California.
right, who had abandoned their nests
for 2 hours this morning. I was checking literally like every 5 seconds. I couldn't
Brings her joy.
But wait, but why isn't she sitting on them? Look, she's not sitting on them.
Oh.
What is happening? Why is she doing that?
Maybe they're
I'm really very.
Is she
I'm
feeding
really
them?
worried about this.
I mean, they must have come back to feed them.
Oh no! No!
No, she's sitting on them now?
No!
What?
They're not.
They're
They're
gone
gone
again? No! Face! Oh, face!
Oh, okay. Oh my God! This is what people. This is what I do. I like literally.
It's not what she does; it's what brings her joy, and she's heavily invested.
Because we
It's
all
stressing her out.
Most of us know the story, right? She had laid 3 eggs. Jackie laid 3 eggs for the season, and everyone was excited. 2 of them hatched a couple weeks ago, and it was very exciting. The 3rd one then hatched about a week or 2 later.
Is it people all over the U.S. that are watching this?
All over the world. All over the world.
Yeah.
Oh, not just California.
66,000 people watching.
Oh, who are all like, yay, they're back! They don't have to cancel child services.
Okay, so then we were all really happy because the last 2 years, Jackie and Shadow did not have any eggs that hatched. It was very sad.
Right.
So then 3, it was a miracle. Then one of the eaglets died 2 days ago.
Because it's 2 feet of snow.
I know,
cold,
really bad
cold,
winter storms.
I wanted to know what they did with the body.
It's not there anymore. I did see it.
Did they?
Yeah.
They have to discard it.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, so now there's 2 eaglets. I know I have an unhealthy obsession.
Are they named?
Again, it's not unhealthy.
Really? You're so
Yeah.
sweet to
It's
say
not
that. I
healthy.
think it's
I think it's unhealthy.
Shut up, bitch. You can't agree with that.
You are so stressed out.
But you invest a lot of time and a lot of heart, but it does ultimately bring you joy. But it also
does.
creates heartbreak. So you'll go through this process, and we'll see you on the other side. It's like again, it's nature, all the beauty and glory and awesomeness, but it's also the
Nature is
harshness.
rough.
It is rough. But here's the thing. The reason why I think I've become so obsessed is because of the world we're living in right now.
Okay.
Because there's so much disappointment, there's so much darkness that I wanted to find any little way to find a little bit of joy each day.
Yeah.
Right? And so like my dog,
Yeah.
every day. Like honestly, I bet dogs and cats right now, I'm sure you can
They're getting so much love.
and I'm sure they're absorbing a lot of stress.
Oh yeah.
From us.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
They've all become therapy dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this one.
Yeah.
But then this Jackie and Shadow story was just like, it was just a beautiful thing that I got a little bit of joy from every day.
Yeah.
But when that fucking eaglet died, I thought I was going to lose my shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And when they didn't come back to the nest for 2 hours today, I literally was about to drive up to Big Bear and climb that fucking tree and sit on that damn nest myself.
Will you be an eaglet, Mama?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it brings you joy. I mean, again, having her
So invested.
that Kelly
Yeah.
returned from a cruise. I'm assuming that brought you a great amount of joy.
Oh, yeah.
To gamble and have fun.
Gambled in a
With
spa every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I actually started working out again.
Yeah.
I started on my workout plan.
And she only had 1 glass of wine because it was her
the whole
intention
time.
sorry, not to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing?
So
bring yourself
I always on the regular go through Instagram to find funny cats.
Me too. Because I always see you that you like stuff.
All of us like the same.
And then
I always see you
and
like
then
icons.
mainly wanted to schedule Kantaro, the dog walk.
I tried.
Japan
I reached
Walker.
out. Do you guys know
who
about
is this? What?
Kantaro Japan Walker.
Japan Walker.
You need to follow him.
Is he hot? No.
He's actually very
He's
cute.
so
Is he?
He's so cute.
He's a Japanese, very fluent English speaking
So cute.
walker who just walks around Japan, and he just he plays the same piece of music ue o muite, which is translated to sukiyaki.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I think it's 80 days ago, or is it 81 days? He adopted
The latest one is
Shiba dog.
81. This is Sanchan.
That's Sanchan.
Oh, he is a cutie.
Yeah. Okay.
And the dog too.
Yeah, I got his dog 81 days ago.
Yeah.
So an Akita.
The 80 hero Japan with Shiba! さんちゃんキャノンおはようさんちゃん綺麗だねめっちゃゆっくりさん何つけてWe made it to 北九州 and we made it to Ogura Castle さんちゃんシバ歩こう涙がこぼれないように泣きながら九州 journey has come to an end and we're moving on to Honshu and after minutes we're heading Hokkaido止めさせていただく方が見つかりました。ありがとうございます。さんちゃん、綺麗だ。鏡見てる。ありがとうございます。さんちゃん。
おやすみ。Good night.
And he was on a podcast with one of the world's hugest podcasters. I can't remember what her name is.
So all he did before getting the dog was
just
walk around
and he would camp. And so he would kind of find people, gracious people who would let him stay at their house, or he would just pop a tent.
Is he homeless?
No. I mean, he's doing this just explore.
Okay, Japan, you can do that.
See, that's the thing. In Japan, it's so safe.
Yeah.
And people are welcoming, and they're giving him a meal and housing, whatever.
Well, with that smile, he's always smiling.
Yeah,
it looks
when
like.
he got Sanchan, I mean,
It
it
exploded.
exploded. And his videos are only like a minute long every day.
Which is good. That's my entire
Really
attention
consumable.
span.
Yeah.
And that brings me joy every day.
Yeah.
To watch
I see
his
you.
videos.
I see. And then me and her on whatever, little retriever puppy video.
Yeah.
Playing with the cat.
I like the wee rig dogs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Rig
I
dogs.
love
So
that.
that brings me joy
Yeah.
consistently every day. I'm very grateful to those video creators.
Yes.
But what's really pissing me off is the seepage of AI created videos.
Oh, yeah.
Just call that fucking shit out.
That's right.
It's right.
It's cute.
It's
But
not
don't
real.
fucking manipulate
Don't
our
get-
hearts.
Don't get fooled, because my mom will
Oh,
start
yeah.
sending me videos of stuff, and I'm like, Mom, this is AI. And she's like, what? And she has no idea, right? I'm like, no, Mom, this is AI. You gotta be really careful.
I got really angry about one that looked like a 60-year-old who was in her bikini walking down the runway like a Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah.
And it was clearly AI. Her stomach was all like too smooth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wrote something about her stomach being too smooth and it being AI, and that it's dangerous for women to think that they have to compete with that or compare themselves to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then women were writing me back in the comments, I'm 60 years old and I have a flat stomach. And I'm like, okay, sister, good for you. Yeah. But like the skin quality is just not the same.
Yeah.
I don't care how old, you think, how hot you think you are. It's just not as smooth as you would be in your 20s.
Yeah.
It was clearly AI. But they were just very attacking, I look great and I'm in my 50s or whatever. And I was just like, okay, good for you.
Yeah, well, they'll find something to come after you.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So,
sometimes bots will.
bots will
That's
too.
true.
Yeah,
I don't bother to look at every single one to see,
Okay.
who the bots are.
So another thing that brings me joy, and I know, Tamlyn, you would agree with this, is live theater. So yes, so here is Cambodian rock band is something that East West Players
Oh, your mic is in the way.
doing.
Oh.
It's been on for the last 3 weeks ish.
Yes.
We just extended for another. I say we because I'm on the board of directors, and Tamlyn is very much an integral part of it.
But East West Players is in community with Outside In Theater, which is
your theater, exactly. Okay, guess what? I didn't even know that until recently. I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was a collaboration with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, and we're gonna get to Outside In Theater in a second. That's the theater that Tamlyn and her husband are opening up.
Yeah.
You know, a
So
little
it's
bit
not inside out,
because
it's outside in.
It's Outside In.
Outside
That's
In.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I said it the wrong way the last time.
Did you?
Okay, I did.
But yeah,
Anyway, so
live
theater. There's something so powerful about live theater, right? Because it's like in your face.
because you go to live theater.
And you're enjoying it as a community in person. You're feeling the energy.
Full of friends and strangers.
Yeah.
And the electricity.
Exactly. And
We're so spoiled though.
What do you mean?
In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like, so I on this ship, there were performers and people were, watching the shows and stuff like that. And I went to one of the shows and I was just like,
dude, it's a cruise line. I'm sorry. You're nothing the same.
and I was like, and everybody was talking about how great it was, and they were so good. And they were. The singers were good.
Okay.
The singers were good.
Yeah.
But we're so spoiled with amazing
LA and New
production.
York.
Exactly. And Vegas. And I live in Vegas
too?
now.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
because we have huge production.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yes.
So I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I trust your word. That's because of our friendship. And
Yeah.
because of our relationship.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
you say gotta go. May
yeah.
just saw a show that's still running at the
At
Wallace.
Annenberg.
Here
There are. It's called Here There Are Blueberries. It's a strange title, but you understand it when you see the play, and it's based on. We'll quickly talk about that and get back to Camping and Rock Band. But this was such a powerful play. It's a true story based on the archives, the archive department of the U.S. Holocaust Museum, and they receive an album of 130 some odd pictures from World War II. And they realize these are all photos from Auschwitz, but they're not any photos of the prisoners. It's of all the staff and the officers that worked there. So it was an album.
Who took these photos?
Okay, so it was an album that was compiled by one of the officers for his own keepsake, right?
Oh, wow.
And then this U.S. military guy went in 1946 to Germany to help root out Nazis, and he found this album that had been discarded in this basement.
Busted.
And he kept it for 60 years.
Oh.
Then he finally contacted the U.S. Holocaust Museum and said, I have this album, would you be interested?
Why would he?
So they get it. They start looking into all the photos and they piece together this whole story. It is fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
And it just, they had such a conflict of, do we, our policy is not to focus on the perpetrators, right? You have to focus on the victims and their stories. But so they had this whole conflict and they finally decided, no, this is a story that needs to be told because we have to understand the mentality of the people who are working there, why, how
could they
what were they doing, who were they, and they got all these backstories. One line in the play that was so powerful, they said, in this day and age, no one trusts the government, corporations, or social media, but they trust museums. Why? Because it's all fact-based.
All fact-based.
So powerful, right? And now we're trying to close down museums.
Wait, they're trying to close down museums?
Oh, yeah. And they're
how?
Because they're trying to close
Federal
funding.
Yeah.
Funding, but also they're trying to wipe out historical references.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
All
right?
the marches in Montgomery, Selma.
Photos.
So
So this play was so powerful in terms of the parallel of what's happening now. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend, if anybody is able to see this play, it's right now at Wallace Annenberg
through March 30th.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this episode is going on, but at the Wallace Annenberg Center.
It's the production is brilliant. The way they staged it is brilliant. I'm so glad you're going to go see it. It's really good.
Yeah.
And same with Cambodian Rock Band. I mean, that is about the Pol Pot regime and the genocide that took place, by the Khmer Rouge, right? Mm-hmm. And this, you think, oh, there's no parallel that we can draw. No, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is about
Humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's about like the ugliness, the cruelty of humans, but then also, the survival, the resilience of humans.
And we're not treated to a history lesson. We're treated to the actual interpersonal relationships of people who ran the Auschwitz death camp.
Yeah.
And for Cambodian rock band, it's about a father and a daughter going through history. Where does
Finding
it
the
stop?
story.
Where does it start?
Yeah.
And how does it affect one? And do we keep telling the story?
That's right.
And the power of telling the story.
Right.
Oh,
And fuck, man,
That makes me cry already. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this.
But the music,
oh my God, it's
because
so
I
amazing.
think
It's rock.
it's psychedelic surf punk rock.
Yeah.
It's
so good.
fucking fever.
Yeah. It's
And
like
it's awesome. So I think, when you tell that, it's like, oh yeah. But it's just so joyful.
It's
just so
It's joyful in all of this.
I mean, it's powerful. I mean, of course, you're going to be emotional.
And I think
Yeah.
all of us who witnessed Cambodian rock band, has 5 more shows left. And we're doing this March 20th, Thursday, March 20th through Sunday, March 23rd.
Okay, we gotta get this.
I swear, you will fucking
Die. I mean,
cry,
laugh, sing,
and dance.
Yes, everything.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are all my
I
favorite.
promise you.
Yeah.
I promise
And
you.
at the end, you're just standing up and just jumping up and down and just like so.
You're tearing. You're tearing.
No, I did. No. Believe me, you will. You will.
You will.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
promise you.
Yeah.
We know
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I'm a big old.
But you're going back to the
I'm tearing
silence
now.
thing, not telling, like deciding whether or not you're going to tell your story. I think it's such a common theme when you go through that kind of trauma of the Holocaust, of the Khmer Rouge and that genocide, of Japanese incarceration. The Japanese, after they were released, they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to talk about it.
Korean and other Asian women comfort
women, they didn't want to talk about it. So it's like that collective trauma, oftentimes is silent.
layered with shame.
With layered
Right.
shame, yeah. And so that's where I feel like art and theater and media really can bring out those stories and make you want to share.
Yeah.
And
Research.
yes,
Share.
the research, the facts,
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Cannot be
And
fucking erased.
even again, I'm thinking of worst case scenario, even if those facts are erased from our museums, we still have people to say, what happened to you?
We better keep
Yeah.
those stories
What
alive.
happened
And
to
that's
you?
what's so important about storytelling ultimately, right? Tamlyn and I went to San Francisco for this event, and we did a panel called Owning Your Narrative, right? Telling your stories and the importance of that. Because even if there's fear, fear shouldn't silence us, right? In terms of, capturing those stories and telling them, especially factually.
Yeah.
Right?
Factually.
I mean, Jesus. I can't believe that's what we have to talk about. But yes, that's why I wanted to talk about the theater. It's just like the beauty of the theater, the beauty of expression and storytelling that way. And that's why for you, opening up Outside In Theater.
Right. I mean, I think for Kelly and I think we both admittedly and truthfully, factually, started in film and TV.
Yeah.
But to be able to have the opportunities to tell live theater, there's nothing like it. To be in a room and to experience this sharing of the story, it goes back to our primal gathering on a fire.
That's right.
And
That's right.
tapping a piece of wood and listening to the music and go, and what does it elicit, what kind of responses elicit? And then to have words to say, moon, pretty, because you literally do physiologically feel it in your heart. And then the love for another human being. That's basic storytelling. Sure, there are levels of quality. And I think the easiest analogy is that, I'll pay hundreds of dollars to be able to see Beyonce live because it's a spiritual experience, right?
It is.
And I will stream her show. But why did I need to see her live when I can stream her show? Because we want to be in the same room together.
We want to share it.
And that electricity is different.
The energy is different. And you see all the nuances you don't catch on a perfectly produced television or video broadcast.
Yes.
Right? Perfectly imperfect. And that's what makes us human, and that's how we relate. Because when we see a beautifully produced show, it's like, oh yeah, that makes me, oh yeah, this is where she goes, So you're predicting. But when you experience something that will never be replicated quite as perfectly, I think
Or the
that's
same.
what- yeah,
They
we're
don't have
trying
to
to
be the same.
translate. That's the magic of wonderful, exciting live theater. Now there's bad theater, flip side.
Yeah.
But you got to continually invest in it so the artists can
That's
continue
right.
to get better.
Mhm.
And people have to go. You
And
got to
people-
support it.
and
Please support
Yeah,
it.
I think
and
though
it's
a lot of people would argue that it's so expensive.
Yes. And there are discounts.
Yeah.
And there are people and friends who say, hey, can you get me in?
Yeah.
And theaters nowadays, they have box office people at heart. If you walk up, they have discount ticket, or they say, just come on in.
Yeah.
It's a relation. Online, you could just say, okay, but if you have the energy to go, because you go see the theater,
Mhm.
you just see Ted Lasso, you see Shrinking, you see Severance, you got to watch Severance, you got to watch Shrinking, you got to watch Ted Lasso, but you got to go to see
Yeah, it's very active.
Yes. Thank you.
It's very active.
It's
That's
very
right.
active.
But it's a good point, Kelly. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be expensive, especially like Broadway.
Oh my
That
God.
has a
Oh my
reputation
God.
of
Who,
being
who
so
can
expensive.
afford Broadway? I can't.
Exactly. And that's the problem. But just remember that there are smaller theater companies like East West Players.
We're
you
lucky
know?
here in LA.
We are. And
Outside
so
in.
you can
Uh-huh.
still get quality theater at these smaller houses, in your town.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
And yeah, they might not be Broadway quality, but they're going to pour their heart and soul into it.
Exactly.
For sure. Right?
Mm.
So that's the beauty of it. I think it's that collective experience that's in person,
Just gathering
active.
around the fire.
And there's a
The
lot of
fire.
travel, a lot of these productions that travel from city to
yeah,
city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God, Bernadette Peters and Lea Salonga.
I heard that
Old
show is
friends.
amazing.
It's
Have you
going to Broadway. So
Oh,
we
it
just
is?
concluded
Wow.
its run over at the Amundsen
I missed it. Did you see it?
Wow.
I heard it was great.
3 times.
You saw it 3
Because
times?
it's Bernadette fucking Peters
That's why I was like,
singing "Send It the Cloud."
Oh,
does she still sound
she's
amazing?
littler than you.
She's
She's
tiny.
76 and she's still belting it,
Oh,
and
man.
so still.
Wow.
I don't need to perform it for you because I'm singing it for
Oh, wow. So I just
It's
got
just
chills.
like, yeah.
There's a book that I just finished on the ship called Awe.
Hmm.
And they talk about collective effervescence.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is
Huh.
what you experience
Yes.
when you go to theater.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
when
like
you
that.
experience this with other people.
Yes.
Collective effervescence. That's my new favorite term.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
love
we
it.
need more of, because after 3 years of COVID, where everybody was isolating, I think
Yes.
everyone's missing that connection.
Yeah.
And whenever I do a live event, with people, I do feel like people are so hungry
Oh yeah.
for that togetherness.
Mm.
That in-person togetherness. That it's like people are weeping just because they have missed it, that experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for you in opening the theater, which I know it's a little delayed.
Oh my God, so proud of
Some-
you.
Construction delays.
Construction
typically,
delays
yes.
because of city permits and
Right.
Okay.
acceptances.
Do you have a date yet, or
We don't have a date because it's subject to doing everything that all the inspectors say we need to do
Okay.
before we get a checklist, and then
Okay.
we gotta really literally. And I think I've said this before. We gotta learn how to turn on off. We gotta know where all the light switches are. You light the room is like
Right.
yeah. It's
Okay.
like moving into a new house.
Yeah.
Is it, how does this work?
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
where
been
I'm
a year and a half and I'm still not moved in. I still got boxes all over the
Where's
house.
my shit?
Yeah, I didn't check the house.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
so-
Sugi, she's standing on the mother.
Oh,
Sugi.
she wants to produce this.
I know she's a little producer. She's a sound technician.
She's
Well,
my
you know
mom,
what?
just
When you have a date, we definitely want to celebrate.
Thank
Are you going to do a production that you are in?
No, because
We can watch it.
you can see me dance because I requested that all our staff members pull up a playlist so we can play our different playlists in the lobby and you can dance.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you-
I'll dance with you.
Yeah, I'd love to just spontaneously dance. And just
Jimmy
share
can come
some-
dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will definitely come celebrate with you when
Thank
you're
you.
ready to open up.
Absolutely.
the doors.
I'll drive back.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Is there anything else we want to add to this?
So you want to share?
Anything else we want to share?
Yeah.
Besides-
Collective effervescence.
Besides another equal.
I'm not sure who coined that term, but we'll put it in the.
I
in the
like it.
notes.
I like that term a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both there! They're both there! Oh my! Look! They're both there! Yay! Oh my god!
But you want them to keep But are they sunning the chicks? Do you think?
Maybe, because they are in the sun.
They're in
so
the
maybe
sun.
that's what they're doing. Let's hope. I see. It's unhealthy.
Again, it's wonderful to see you.
The joy. It
Yeah.
brings me such joy. Look, Suki's like, Mommy.
You are so invested.
Okay, maybe we should end it there. So
Okay.
I don't like go off.
The collective effervescence.
Well, thank you,
of
ladies. Of
beingness.
course, it's always lovely to be with the ladies in person. We always want to do this more often, but it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for watching.
you.
Please, again, subscribe on YouTube and wherever you podcast. And we will see you next time.
Yes.
Bye. See you
Aloha.
later. Aloha. Bye.